You're going to come to a nice comfortable seat. You can use that blanket or towel to sit on if your hips are tight. So I've kind of developed a little bit of a rhythm in our time without an actual rhythm. You know, it's funny how we all kind of get into patterns, even when our normal patterns have been completely disrupted or completely changed, as they've been for most of us for the last month or so. You know, patterns and habits can be negative sometimes, but they can also have a positive aspect to them. And a lot of times in yoga, we talk about our patterns and our practices having being kind of systematized as a way to keep track of ourselves. So, you know, all habits are not necessarily bad habits. That being said, the pattern that I've kind of started working on for these classes is that this Monday class is a little bit more vigorous. We tend to focus on, you know, our lower body and strength here, which is good in the beginning of a week because strengthening and focusing on your lower body can be really grounding, you know, kind of setting the tone for your week, and then the rest follows. Thursday morning, we're already a little bit grounded. We've kind of been through a lot. We focus more on upper body and expansion. So with that being said, just like last week, this class will be a little bit vigorous, and we're really gonna focus on stability and strength in our legs. You'll find that I'm gonna give a lot of different modifications. So just do what feels good. And obviously you're at home, so you can take a couple plays off if you need to. So just come into a nice, easy seat, crossing at the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe give your shoulders a little shrug up by your ears. And then exhale, let your shoulders slide down your back. Inhale, shrug them up. Exhale, pull them back. And then sit up nice and tall. Imagine your spine is extending from the crown of your head. And that's more the back than the front. Really lift from the back. Neck is really long. Broad across the collarbones. Take a big deep breath in here. And then exhale, just bring your hands to heart center. Bow your heads. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice. It's one of, you know, this intention setting is a very basic unit of yoga practice. And it's good if you're trying to ground and anchor in. You know, what do you need out of this time? Let that inform your intention. So every time your mind kind of runs away, you've got that anchor that says, oh yeah, I'm here for this. This is why I'm doing this. And it'll help you focus. Think about that intention. Take a big deep breath in. And then exhale as the breath comes out. Just kind of let your body soften. We'll do a couple of those. Kind of inhale, really feel like you're expanding. And then as you exhale, soften. And I want you to think about that idea of that intention just kind of melting through the body, sinking in. If Ujjayi breath is part of your practice, you could start that now. There's a slight constriction in the back of your throat. You'll breathe in and out through your nose, but this will have kind of a whisper, like a raspy quality to it. Big deep breath in. Exhale, let that breath out. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, we're going to twist. Left hand forward, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up tall. Exhale, twist, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Good, go ahead, come back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, we're gonna twist left. Left hand's behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, look over that left shoulder. Big deep breath in here. And then exhale, come back to face front. Take your hands, just turn your palms up. Imagine you're carrying like a tray of something. So you don't use your hands for this twist anymore. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take a little twist over to the right. Notice if your legs kind of shift. Drop your hips down, that's your anchor. And then see if you can twist from the waist without use of the arms. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. We're going the other way. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist left. Hips are anchoring. They're dropping down. Spine lengthens. Twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, go right again. See how far you can go. Don't let your legs shift. Breathe in. Exhale, back to center. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, one more time, twist left. This should feel like some work around the waist and the obliques when you don't get to use your arms. Back to center, inhale, and we're gonna shift our legs. So just notice which of your legs is in the front. Make a mental note, it's my left, might be something else for you. Bring both shins up, parallel to the floor, and we're just gonna hang out in a boat pose for a moment here. Draw belly button towards your spine, lengthen your spine. This is a grounding pose. Feel your hips sink into the floor, lengthen. And then we're gonna recross our legs with the other shin in the front. Sit up tall. Exhale, twist right. It might be easier or harder to twist with a different configuration of legs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. We'll do one more. Go ahead, come back to center. Sit up tall, twist left. Shoulders drop down, crown of the head lifts. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, come back to face front. Let's just do soles of the feet together. Grab hold of your shins. You're gonna inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist, or not twist, fold. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Drop your forehead towards your heels. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Good, you're gonna lengthen again. Move your feet a little further forward. Soles of the feet together. Lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Just notice a slightly different shape in the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. And then go ahead, make your way onto hands and knees. Or actually, we're gonna bring our elbows onto the ground. Inhale, tailbone comes up, drop your belly down, lift your chest. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone under, lift your belly up. Inhale, arch, just like we do with cow. Exhale, round, just like we do with cat. So you've got your elbows on the floor. When your hands are on the ground, there's a lot of movement in the shoulders and the elbows. But here, we really kind of focus on movement of the spine when we don't have the arms to give us as much space. Just see how that feels in your body today. Take one more. Good, then extend the spine long. You're gonna keep the left foot on the floor, pick up your right foot, and then swing it over to the left. So if you look over your left shoulder, you should see your left foot on the floor. Keep looking at it. Push down into those left toes and feel a stretch through the outside of the right hip, maybe the right low back. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to the starting point. So right knee goes down, left leg extends, and then swing that left foot behind the right foot. Look over your right shoulder. Nice big stretch through the outside of the left hip, maybe the back. Push into those left toes, send the hip out, inhale here. And then exhale, come back. And we'll just come all the way forward, laying on your belly, forearms on the floor, coming into a Sphinx pose. Elbows down, wrists down, lift your chest. Take a big deep breath in here. Exhale, let that breath out. Chest is opening. This should feel like some work between the shoulder blades. Work in the legs to stay flat like this. But I want you to think about length. We're gonna do similar shapes in a couple poses. Chest comes forward, spine is lengthening, and legs are really long. Like I'm trying to get my toes as far away from my heart as I can get them. Breathe in here, and then slide your hands back. Exhale, you're just gonna push back into child's pose. Hips towards the heels, arms long in front of you. Take a few slow, easy breaths here. And remind yourself of that intention one more time. Good, from here we're gonna come up to stand on our knees. Let's step the right foot forward. Oh, for those of you that have tender knees, this would be a great time to use your blanket or pillow. Put that left knee on something, and then lean forward into this right leg. So a nice little lunge, but we're down low. Right hip pulls back in space, left hip pulls forward. Extend your spine, get nice and tall. Hands are on the hips. I want you to subtly engage your abdominal muscles to support your low back, because we're gonna exhale, move the right leg towards straight, and then lean over. So I'm trying to keep my spine really long as I keep that right leg long, toes up. Inhale, rebend the knee, sink the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten that right leg, fold over it. If you feel wobbly, use a little more inner thigh for that. Kind of hug the center line of the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, straighten, fold forward. If you feel really tight in your hips today, kind of limit your range of motion so you're not quite as wobbly. Good, the next time you come forward, stay forward. We're gonna pull that right hip back in space. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Take a little side bend over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, we're gonna do hands to heart center. So prayer hands, you're gonna take this left foot and kind of swing it behind you a little so that we can open up and get a nice stretch through the inner thighs. Sink into this. It looks kind of like warrior two, right? Same little action. We're gonna straighten that front leg, tip over it. Kind of reminds me of like I'm a little teapot right now. That's okay. Drop into it. Inhale like a short warrior two. Exhale, we'll straighten that right leg, tip over. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, tip. Good, we're gonna come forward. Lean into that right knee. Arms come out to the side. You can do left hand on your left hip. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Stay here, or maybe slide that left hand down to the floor or the calf. Take a big deep breath in here. And then exhale, come back up to stand. Re-straighten that leg. And just come to stand on your knees for a minute. Give your hips a little movement side to side. And then we're just gonna shift over to the other one. So left leg's coming forward. Right knee is on the ground. Just come into this lunge. Find your lunge position. Right hip forward, left hip back. Lengthen the spine, get nice and tall. Draw your belly button into your spine. Exhale, we're gonna straighten that left leg. Lean that spine forward, nice and long. Exhale, bend into it. Inhale, straighten the leg, lean forward. I think I might have my breathing backwards. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're breathing in one direction, then the other. Honoring your range of motion. So if you feel really wobbly and if this feels like it's pulling too hard, don't go so far. Good, the next time you come into the bent knee position, stay there. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Left hand grabs the right wrist, side bend to the left. Left hip should drop down, create lots of space. Breathe into these right ribs, and then inhale, come up, prayer hands. We're gonna take those right toes and just kind of pivot them behind so that you can open up and get a nice big inner thigh stretch here. Lean forward, drop into it. Stand up nice and tall. Exhale, straighten that left leg and just kind of hinge over in that direction. Should be like inner thigh and maybe a little hamstring. Drop into it like warrior two. Exhale, side bend. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do one more like this. Then we're gonna rebend, drop down into that left knee, bring the arms out wide like your warrior two. Right hand's gonna come onto the right hip to start. Left hand lifts up. You can stay here or drop that hand down. Hips are going towards the end of that mat as you lift your heart and your hand to the sky. Breathe in here. And then exhale, slowly come out of this. We're gonna bring the left knee right in line with the right. And then you're gonna sit back on your feet. Side view looks like this. So the toes are curled under, giving yourself a nice big hip stretch. Hands are on the thighs. Get tall, breathe in here. And then exhale, just push onto the ground. We're coming up into a forward fold. I'm moving my blankets. So feet are gonna be about hips width distance, but maybe a little wider than hip width. Let's take our left hand, put your left hand down on the ground, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. So really long right leg, really long spine. This should be a nice big outer hip stretch for the right, maybe right hamstring. Exhale, right hand drops down, bend the right knee, straighten the left knee. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Left hip pulls back, chest reaches forward, breathe in here. And then exhale, bring your left hand down. We're going back to the first side. So left knee bends, right leg straightens, lift the right arm up. Take that right thumb, spin it to face behind you. Drop your arm behind your back and see if you can lean back into that right forearm. Take a breath in here. And then exhale, unwind. We'll do the other side one more time. Right knee bends. Left leg straight, left arm goes up. Lengthen the spine, big deep breath in here. Rotate the arm, drop it behind your back, lean into it. Inhale. Exhale, unwind. Soft little bend in the knees. You're gonna roll yourself all the way up to stand. Good. And stand, feet about hips width distance apart. Give your shoulders a shrug up by your ears, and then exhale, drop your arms by your side. Inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms. Drop your shoulders down, move from your pelvis. I want your hips to shift over to the left, and then your arms to go right. So the tendency is to just kind of bend the upper body. Have this movement start in your pelvis. Hips go left, and then the upper body has no choice but to go right, or you'd fall over. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, hips go to the right, and then the upper body's gonna fall. So you should feel the inside of this right leg really working. Stretch through the outer right hip. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hips go to the left. Push your left foot into the floor really firmly and see if you can just skim your right heel out to the side a little. So we're balancing on one leg, kind of hinging at the middle. Inhale, come up. Now right leg grounds. Shift hips to the right. Push that right foot into the floor. Left heel comes out. Breathe here. Whoops, I'm falling over. Breathe here. Okay, come up to stand. Bring your hands through heart center. Take a moment. Close your eyes, maybe take a breath in. Those of you that know me, grounding means a lot of balance poses. We're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm giving you the side view. The tendency in that balance pose is to kind of hinge forward or to rotate your upper body. You're gonna stay nice and tall. Sweep your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms. Drop your shoulders down, lift your heart. Think front ribs hug down. So you're using your abdominal muscles. You're gonna shift your left hip out to the side. So my hips are going away from you. I'm grounding into my left foot, and then my right heel is skimming towards you. If your toes turn out, try to push more through the heel. You should feel a lot of work in the side of this right butt. Inhale, come up. We'll do the other side. Exhale, I'm pushing my hips towards you. Right hip's pushing, pushing, pushing. Right foot's in the floor, and then left heel skims away. These look good from what I can see. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Both feet press into the ground. Feel really tall. Arms up overhead, prayer hands. Drop your shoulders down. You're gonna stand on your left foot and just pick up your right knee. Stand here. If balance is not your friend today, you can always keep a toe on the ground, like a little kickstand, but your hands are stuck together. They're glued. Open that knee out to the side and find tree pose. You're not allowed to unglue your hand and go catch that foot. Keep your feet together, your hands together. See about lifting up high, opening up, and then your foot's either gonna find your inner calf or your inner thigh. And it feels awkward when you're not allowed to adjust with your hands. But, you know, awkward is a normal feeling these days. Breathe in here. Exhale, go ahead, bring that knee back. Push the right foot into the ground. We're going right to the other side. Right foot down, left knee comes up. Open it out. See where you can get that knee without your hands. And then see where you can get that foot without your hands. Clearly, I'm much better balancing on the other side of my leg. You want to be above or below the knee. Stand tall. And then bring that knee forward. Come to stand at the top of your mat, mountain pose. We're gonna build on this a little bit. So we'll do a couple things with this. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Shoulder blades back, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Hands on the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. We're gonna exhale, step our right foot back into a lunge. Have a little space left to right between your feet, and then come up to stand into a high lunge. Right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. We're gonna take the left hand, grab the right wrist, take a side bend over to the left. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, prayer hands. We're gonna take a twist with our prayer hands. If you've got the space, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. If that seems too far, you can modify. Big deep breath in here, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, unwind. We're gonna bring hands to the floor inside that left knee. So you see I've kind of hid my hand from you. Right knee is coming down to the ground. You're gonna push into that right foot, extend the spine. And while you're in this shape, I want you to take that left knee and squeeze your left knee into that left outer shoulder, outer arm. When you do that, feel that work in the inner thigh. Lengthen your spine, squeeze in. One more time, lengthen your spine, squeeze left knee into left shoulder. And then from here, we're gonna pick that back knee up. Can you still squeeze in? Take a breath. Exhale, step back. We're gonna bring knees to the ground. With knees to the ground, tailbone tucks under, extend the spine. And exhale, just come all the way down. Toes are on the floor. Fingertips line up with the ribs. See how my wrists are right underneath my elbows? I'm gonna pick up my feet, see if I can make my legs a little bit longer. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, go back down. Push into the hands, shrug the shoulders back. Inhale, chest, then head, baby cobra. Exhale, come down. One more time, shrug those shoulders back. Inhale, chest, then head. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Take a big, deep breath in this child's pose. And then exhale, let it out while I turn off my ringer, which is still going. Good, and then come up. So as we go through these repetitions of poses, if you want to do that for your sun salutation, go right ahead. If not, I'll give some other options. We're going to go downward dog and then take a little walk. Walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. Soft bend in the knees, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands on the shins, lengthen the spine. This time we're gonna go back with the left foot. So plant that left foot down, pull the left hip forward. You're coming up into your high lunge. Square your hips to the top of the mat. Long line through the front of this left hip. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Right hand grabs the left wrist. You're taking a side bend to the right, which should stretch out this left side. Inhale, come up to center. Prayer hands, twist. Think about those twists that we did at the very beginning. It's just the upper body moving itself around as we've got our hands stuck together. Left elbow to right knee. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, you're gonna bring your hands inside that right leg. Put your left knee on the ground. So you can see my arms inside my leg so that I can squeeze my leg into my arm as I extend my spine and as I move into this pose a little deeper. Hug that knee into the shoulder, extend the spine. And then from here, you're gonna step back. You can stay on the knees or lift them. Breath in, exhale, come all the way down. Uncurl the toes. See if you can reach your legs a little longer. Slide your hands back, squeeze your elbows in. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, go down. If it's in your practice to do an upward dog, feel free to do those here. Elbows pull back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, downward dog. And again, we're just gonna walk up to the top of the mat. Soft bend in the knees. Roll yourself up to stand, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, mountain. I'm gonna grab a sip of water while you work on breathing. Okay. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Palms around the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're gonna step the left foot back into a lunge. I'm gonna pivot here so that you can see me from the front view. Your inhale, coming up into that high lunge, just the way we did before. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Take a little side bend. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, prayer hands. So you're gonna push into this right leg and gracefully come up to stand with that left knee in front of you. So it's much longer than when you take off the other way. So try that again. Push into that leg, no momentum, you're just whoop, coming up. From here, you're gonna open that knee out to the side and then close it. Open that knee out to the side, close it. Go ahead, step back into your lunge. I'm circling back to where I started from. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Bend into that right knee. Lengthen your spine, lift your chest. Right hand's going up, inhale. Exhale, right forearm to the right thigh, left hand reaches over. Inhale, come back. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, come back. Exhale, come forward. This time we're going all the way back. Straighten that front leg, get as long as you can. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Curl up onto the ball of the back foot. And let's again bring our arm on the inside. Bring your back knee down. Lengthen the spine. So this time you're still hugging that right knee into the right shoulder. You might try to get a little lower. If elbows on the floor seems too far away, maybe it's just arms out in front. Hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your spine. Good, take a nice big deep breath in here. Walk your hands back. Step back, high plank. With or without knees, maybe you're lowering all the way, maybe halfway. Upward dog, inhale. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. So we're gonna go left foot forward. Inhale up into high lunge. I'm turning so I can face you. Left hand is gonna grab the right wrist, take a side bend. So you're stretching out that right side. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, prayer hands. Draw your shoulders back, lift your chest. You're gonna gracefully come up, lift that right knee. If it was a lot of momentum and you wiggled side to side, try it again. Come up. Hold that right knee into your body, and then you're gonna open it and close it. Open, close. One more time, open, close. Gracefully float yourself back into that lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. And you're gonna move from here. Left hand going up. Inhale, big deep breath in. Exhale, left forearm onto the left thigh, right hand reaches over. Move with your breath. Keep your legs still and just gracefully move your arms back and forth. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come forward. Inhale, come up. This time, let's straighten that left leg. Come forward, triangle pose. Left hand down, right hand up. Get as long as you can. Breathe in here. And then exhale, we're gonna bring hands to the floor inside that left foot. Hug the left knee into your chest. Bring the back knee down. So, are you gonna stay here? Or maybe get a little lower? Could be forearms, could be hands out in front of you. Extend your spine while you hug that left knee in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then go ahead, walk your hands in. Press down onto the ground. Lift that back knee or keep it down. You're stepping back. You're either gonna move through your little vinyasa or you could go right into child's pose. Up, exhale, lower, inhale, lift, downward dog. Let's walk our hands back to our feet. Soft little forward fold. Roll yourself up to stand. Just taking a moment here, pressing your feet into the floor. Inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer hands. Stand on your left foot, pick up your right knee. Gracefully hinge your torso forward. Press that right leg back, right toes point straight down. We're gonna sink back, come into our lunge. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Left hand grabs the right wrist, side bend. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, prayer hands. Push those hands together. Drive the right hip forward. Come up. You want to minimize that side to side wiggle. We're going to open and close that knee. Trying not to move the standing leg. You're just trying to move the floating leg. And then we're going to find that tree pose. And you're not allowed to use your hands for this part. But then you're going to inhale, sweep your hands up overhead. Right hand grabs the left wrist, and you're going to try to do that side bend that you were playing with in the very beginning. So my hands are going right, my hips are going left. The inside line of my left leg is doing a lot of work. Inhale, come up to center. Don't fall like I'm doing. Prayer hands, pick that knee up. Exhale, just put it back down onto the ground. Push that right foot into the floor, lift the left. Hands are together, shoulders are soft. We're gonna hinge, torso forward, left leg back. Left toes point to the floor, left hip drops down. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna land into a lunge. I had you there in the 3 for a little bit. Arms overhead, right hand grabs left wrist, side bend. Back to center, prayer hands. Push into this right leg, drive the left hip forward. From the left hip driving forward, you're coming up to stand perfectly gracefully. Knee goes out, knee comes in. Hold your belly button into your spine. Move that leg in and out. And then we're gonna do foot to the inner calf or the inner thigh. Sweep your arms up overhead. Left hand is gonna grab the right wrist. You're gonna take your little side bend. Big deep breath in here. Really make that right leg work. Push that right hip out. And then come up to stand. Hands to heart center. Bring that left foot to the floor. Pause. If you've moved from the top of your mat, come back to the top. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to your shins, lengthen your spine. Exhale, we're gonna step back, and we're gonna come all the way down to the ground. So toenails are down. We're gonna bring our hands back, palms down. Bring your forehead down. So I'm scooching my toes to see if I can get my legs a little bit longer. And then I'm lengthening through the back of my neck. From here, I wanna lift my heart, my head, and my arms off the ground. And I'm pushing my toenails into the ground, especially my pinky toe side, to make my legs longer and really make those legs work. Lengthen the spine, big deep breath in. Exhale, make a little pillow with your hands. Rest your head. Bend your knees so feet are off the ground. And just windshield a little bit from side to side. Kind of letting the weight of your legs sink into the floor. And then bring your feet to the ground. And you're gonna push yourself up. So we're gonna go into a pigeon pose. If you've got any knee or hip issues, you're gonna do this lying on your back. And you're gonna bring kind of like your right shin parallel to your shoulders. If this is okay for your knees and your hips, right knee goes towards right wrist, foot goes towards left wrist. Wherever you are, whether you're on your back or your front, I want you to lengthen the back leg. See how long you can get it? Then lengthen your spine, like you've got somewhere to go. Walk your hands forward. How far could you get your sternum, your heart, away from your toes? Feel action in that lengthening, and then go down as far as you can go. This should be a lot of stretch through the outside of the right hip. If you feel this in your knee or in your foot, you want to shift a little bit. Some people also get it a lot through the front of this back leg, especially if you're extending your spine and that back leg. So we're going to take a breath in here. And then we're just going to switch sides. So push yourself up. If you're on your back, just switch legs. If you're on your forward, that doesn't make any sense. If you're face down, left knee towards left wrist, foot towards right wrist. See how far back you can get that right leg. Extend your spine and then come down. And then extend your spine again. As you stretch that right leg long, kind of pull the left knee out to the side and then see how long you can make your spine. I'm really pushing into the floor with that back leg too. 3 easy breaths here. One more. Good, then we're all gonna come out of this. And we're gonna lie face down, and you're gonna grab your block or toilet paper roll, or what did I say you could use? A ball, a foam roller. You wanna be able to pick up your object in between your feet, okay? So we're still thinking about making our body really long. Everybody's gonna be like 6'4" by the end of this yoga practice. Pete, maybe you'll be like 6'7" since you started a little bit taller. For the first part of this exercise, your upper body is relaxed. So you're not allowed to do any work from the waistband of your pants up to your head. Everything up there is relaxed. And you're just gonna try to hold that block between your feet and do kind of the easiest little hamstring curl in the world. What would make this difficult is if your adductors were not feeling very strong, or if you have like a lot of difference one side to the other. But all we're doing is really thinking about the hamstrings, the inner thighs are helping to move that block.
If this seems like, okay, I got this, then you're gonna try straight leg. So I'm not bending my knees, I'm just trying to reach my legs off the floor. I'm not trying to get high, because when you go high, you tend to use a lot more of your back. I want you to imagine somebody is pulling your toes 6 inches above the floor, as far away from your head as it'll go. Your back is relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed, and you're just using the backs of your legs. And then go ahead and put that block on the ground. It's pretty hard to not use your back. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do a couple, thinking length, lifting your legs, and getting your toes as far away from your head. And if that feels doable, those little lifts, then you can introduce upper body. But if as soon as you do this, your low back starts barking at you, stay relaxed on the upper body. 3 breaths. Come down, relax. All right, we got one more. You can go back to the hamstring curl. You can go back to the straight leg. Or you can do straight leg, add the upper body, then add the hamstring curl and see if you can catch your feet without dropping whatever you're holding between your legs. By the way, the toilet paper is probably really hard now that I think about it. Breathe here. Again, if your low back starts screaming at you, come out, just stay long. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Good. And then slowly relax. Oops. Kick your block out of the way. We're gonna roll over and lie down on our backs. Right leg is long on the floor. You're gonna hug your left knee in. Draw that left knee in as close to the rib cage as it's gonna come. And then just like we did last week, we're gonna go into a half happy baby. So my left arm is inside my left knee, and then I'm reaching for the outside of my left foot. I'm trying to tuck my left knee into my left armpit. If your right hip flexor is tight, you might want to keep that right leg a little bit bent. If not, right heel's on the ground. Drop your shoulders down. Last week when we were playing with Crow, we were kind of thinking about this idea of using the abdominal muscles here. So I want you to do the same thing. Let go of your feet and see if you can reach your fingertips as high as your toe tips by pulling that left knee into your body, by engaging your abdominals and trying to lift your chest off the floor. Good. Big deep breath in here. Recatch your left foot. Relax down towards the ground. Inhale. We're gonna move this left leg in the direction of straight, which might mean that you have to walk your hands further down your leg. Some of you, if your hamstrings are tight, feel free to hang on to the back of the lower leg. If you've got space, you're gonna press through the heel of that left leg, stretching through the hamstring. And again, we're gonna do that little roll up, little sneaky abdominal activation here. Belly button towards the spine. How high could you walk your hands? And then once you can't walk them any further, can you take your hands off your legs without falling back to the floor? Belly button towards the spine, press through both heels, and then let's just switch legs. Catch that right foot, right knee is coming towards the right armpit, so we're going to the half happy baby. If you need to, bend the left knee. Whether the left leg is bent or straight, push that left heel into the floor and then come back to the right leg. You're hugging that right knee into your shoulder, extending your spine, and then we're gonna try that little roll up. Could we keep this right foot right where it is without holding on to it? And get our fingertips over our feet. Hug that right knee into your right shoulder. It should feel like those lizard lunges that we were doing before, except for all of a sudden, much more abdominal activation. Okay, catch that foot. We're gonna move the right leg towards straight, which might mean you're moving your hands down your leg a bit, maybe all the way here. Roll up. You're trying to get your sternum towards that big toe. Inner thighs are squeezing together. Belly button squeezing towards the spine. And you know what? Those little scissor legs were so fun before. Let's do a couple of them. So if your low back is pretty healthy and doesn't tend to overwork, you can stay in this position. If your low back likes to do too much work, put your shoulders on the ground and put your hands under your hips. We're just gonna do some scissor kicks. So you're either down low or your arms are still up, trying to catch your legs. I don't know how many we'll do. We'll just keep doing them till I remember what the next yoga pose. Oh no, I remember. We'll keep doing it. Good. All right, both knees come into the chest. Roll yourself on up to sit. So all of those poses, we're working towards another pose, which I'm gonna do face forward, but you're welcome to come just onto the top of your mat. We're gonna get back into our lizard lunge. Got my right knee on the outside of my right shoulder. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna come sideways. Okay. Right knee on my right shoulder. My left knee is on the ground. I'm extending my spine. So before, we did some walk forward, maybe with the fingertips, maybe with the elbows, and we hugged our right knee in towards our right shoulder. So I want you to do the walk forward, or the elbows down, and think about lifting that back knee. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stabilizing work. So that might be where you're staying. You're kind of playing with a little less arm. I don't have a lot of weight on my wrists or my shoulders, and I'm just trying to stabilize when I lift that back leg by using my abdominals. If you want to get a little crazy, take this right arm, and instead of just tucking it inside that right knee, you're going to loop your right arm under. Okay, so now I've got my elbow kind of out to the side. I'm lifting my back leg. Belly button towards the spine, chest forward, heels back. Can you do this with no hands? Some of you might even be able to hold hands behind your back. Play with this. The longer you get from your chest to your heel, and the more you can kind of pull your belly up, the greater chances you'll get those hands off the floor. I'm peeking over here into gallery view. Some good looking stuff happening over there. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead, put that back knee down. Bring that right leg back. Give your hip a little shift from side to side. Very unceremoniously, we're going right into the next side. I gotta see who else is on this gallery. I missed some people on the other side. Okay, good. Left leg forward. There's no hiding unless you're hiding. Left knee hugs in. Walk your hands forward. Lift that right knee off the ground. Hug the left knee and extend your spine. So this is good. This is a lot of work stabilizing. You're already not putting a lot of weight on your hands. So why not try? Take that left shoulder, whoop, snake it behind that left knee. This might be good. Elbows pull out, chest pulls forward, heel pulls back. Maybe like little mice running across the ground, your fingers go out to the side. There's hardly any weight on them here. One might go up, the other might go up. Get long, heart to back heel, see what you can do. Maybe you can hold hands with yourself. I gotta check, does anybody here hold? Oh, I see some hand holding. Yes. I mean, I can't see that well, so I don't know who's doing it, but it looks fantastic. Okay. Take another breath or two if you're still playing with it. And then slowly come out. Make your way back to your mat. Make your way back to your back. Let's just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Let's come into happy baby with both feet. Kind of hold the outside of the feet and give yourself a little rock from side to side. And then hug both knees in. Still rocking a little. Oh, I forgot one thing. I always forget one thing. You're gonna grab your blanket or your pillow or your beach towel, and you're gonna use it like a little speed bump on your mat, and start just lying your right hip on that little speed bump. Rest your head on your right arm and reach your left arm overhead. Depending on your hips, placing your foot a little bit in the front or a little bit in the back might change kind of where you feel the stretch here. But after we did all of those active side of the waist, side of the hip, but let this be a passive stretch in that same kind of giant banana-like shape. And if you want a little extra, you can lift that left leg, bring your left knee forward, and then reach your left arm back. And we get kind of outer hip stretch, maybe a little low back stretch. And then you're gonna go to the other side. You can just roll over. Left hip on the bumper. Left elbow bends, just rest your head on your left arm. Right arm goes overhead. Most of us have one direction that feels a lot easier than the other in this one. So just kind of notice where you feel stretch. Again, if the slight shift in the position of the top leg, either forward or back, might change where you feel that stretch a lot. Once you get into the shape, just try to relax as best you can. And then if you did it on the other side, you're gonna pick up that right leg, bring the right knee forward, reach the right arm back. Letting the right shoulder drop towards the floor. Kind of letting that right knee cascade over so you get a nice big stretch through the back of that right hip. And then we're going to come back to center, or just low back is going to rest on this little bump. And you're going to extend your legs long. So it's the most stretched out, flattened bridge pose I think you can do. If this bothers your back, keep your knees a little bit bent. If it's okay with your back, flex your ankles, press through your heels, maybe reach your arms overhead. When you inhale, feel like you breathe into the small of your back. And as you exhale, maybe let out a couple sighs. We're going to bend the knees, bring the feet onto the floor, step the feet as wide as your mat. You're still, hips are resting on your blanket or your pillow. Let your knees knock in towards one another. Take your palms, rest them on your belly. And then from here, you're just gonna lift your hips up, take that blanket out from underneath your sacrum so that you're setting up for Shavasana. You can put them underneath your knees if that feels more relaxing, underneath your head. A really nice thing for grounding is to actually just drop a blanket or a pillow on top of your pelvis. And then just let yourself go.